But I see EXO and Nike. I'm waiting on Nike, and then there's Nina. So we're just waiting on Nike, and then the stories tonight are going to be. Why am I blanking? I just posted them a minute ago. Sorry, you guys, like brain fart. My apologies. Stories tonight are the Netflix, the potato chip story, and then my final story was Jack Black's birthday. So why I forgot that. All right, if I can go ahead and have Nina and Exo Mama go ahead and request the box. Welcome everybody. Hope you had an awesome Wednesday. You had a chance to check out some other shows. I was a little unprepared. Literally like running down to the wire today. Usually I'm much more prepared. Hey, how are you?
Hi.
All right, thank you for joining me tonight. Ladies, for those who don't know, we have Nina and we have Exomama as our guests tonight. Our stories that we're going to cover tonight are about when Netflix debuted 25 years ago and the release of potato chips. That was, I forget the date on that. I forgot to write the date, unfortunately. And then is Jack Black's 54th birthday. So, as far as potato chips, that is like kind of a go-to snack for all of us. Do you have a preferred like type of potato chip that you go to yourselves?
Yeah. Um, I used to love eating hot Cheetos all the time. But as I got older and lost my gallbladder, I can't really
Oh,
eat the spicy too much. So Doritos or any kind of like nacho chips have become like a replacement, a sad replacement, but it's
right.
something.
Right. And for you, Exo Mama?
Doritos are my favorite. They actually have a new Doritos. It's like a barbecue flavored one, and it's like become my very favorite chip. But yeah, I like spicy Cheetos too.
Right. My go-to is kind of I like the wavy lays like with the queso like that. That's a good go-to
Mm.
snack.
You like
Um,
the dips?
yeah, like a salsa or queso or
Yeah.
yeah, but or I'll make my own dips too, kind of like a ranch dip or whatever. I like those
Mhm.
as
Mhm.
well. And then other than chips, what would be your favorite go-to snack? Kind of ironically, I had mine at work today with my lunch. So
Hmm.
I like pita chips and cream cheese. That's one of my favorites. Or buffalo chicken dip and tortillas. Like, no.
Yeah.
that's a good one.
It depends on what mood I'm in. If I want salty, I'll go for chips or popcorn. And if I want something more savory, I'll probably try to have some like guac in there with the chips too. But yeah, and then there's times that my snack is a donut or a slice of cake.
Everything in moderation. There you go.
Right.
You gotta enjoy it sometimes. But either Cheez-Its or Goldfish are kind of like my go-to snacks. I
Oh
had
yeah, I like both of
some
those.
Cheez-Its today, but they have a hot and spicy one that's really good that I enjoy. So, and then as far as like parties, do you have like some of us have like preferred dips we like to make, or is there like a preferred party snack? If it's not like chips and dip when you go to a party, what is your preferred snack to have at a party?
Yeah, I like chips and dip. I like when there's a vegetable tray.
Mhm.
I like when they
Mm,
have like those mini hot dogs, those
Oh,
pig in a blanket. You could pop
yep.
them in your mouth, or like the bacon wrapped dates, or like my mother-in-law likes to do bacon wrapped watercress nuts because she loves those.
mm,
Those that usually come in like Asian food.
yeah.
They're like crunchy pieces, so not crest nuts, chestnuts. I was like,
Yeah,
that didn't
I know what
sound
you
right.
meant. I was
Watercress? No. What are those? I don't know.
You're good.
I'm a buffalo. Like I love boneless wings.
Yeah.
So and like I said, the buffalo chicken dip, that's always a go-to when I have parties or especially like football parties. Um, I love fruit, so fruit is always a key essential as far as parties.
Right. Right. As far as my go-to, I had sushi, homemade sushi at a party. That was really good. I mean, it's not really a snack, but like as far as more in the snack realm, kind of just kind of think like, okay, I've had so many different things at parties. What's up, Izzy? But yeah, kind of more not just the I'll have the dips too, but like kind of like nuts or the fruits or the vegetables and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hi.
Sorry. Questions keep. It's not. My apologies. Technical difficulties. Do all that. Okay. Oh, and then okay, we mentioned about like as far as like go to healthy snacks. Like a lot of people like to have like hummus nowadays. That's a
Mhm.
big thing. I kind of stick to like more radishes and like pistachios are like my kind of my go-to healthier snack because the healthy nuts from the fat. So
Mm-hmm.
So I do like I still stick to like the fruit and stuff. I'm allergic to nuts, so I can't really do nuts. Um, but I also like healthy snack wise, like if I'm at work, it's like beef jerky or like Slim Jims.
mhm.
I also do like trail mix without the nuts.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay. And then move on to the next story. It would be comedian Jack Black turned 54. We know he does music. He's done animated movies. He's done films. Kind of. There's one called School of Rock that I really like.
That's my favorite.
And people forget about Kung Fu Panda because he's just the voice, but like I really like that one. His music, not so much. I hear like the Peaches song in my head right now, but I'm not the music, not so much. So now, are you a fan of his music as far as Tenacious D, or do you prefer other artists instead? Do you have like another go-to artist if it's not him?
um I I have listened to Tenacious D.
Yeah.
I do. His music is kind of like satire to me. It's
Mhm.
funny. He's just. It's not like Weird Al Yankovic, but it's. I don't know. I like it. I love his voice as an artist and just him and his creative mind and how he comes up with all of those lyrics for those songs. Most songs are written out of like love or hate or some emotion. So it's like to write something funny. It's really cool. Right, he's funny, but
Right. I mean, I'm not. I mean, his music's not really my style of music. I'm more of like a R&B, like soul music. I love soul music. I think that it tells a lot about me, like as a person, just because like I have an old soul. And I love oldies music. Like any of the old school stuff, like Nat King Cole, stuff like that. So
See, I listen to a little of everything, but my go-to is rock, kind of like pop rock artists, but also like kind of like I don't know if they're like new metal or emo or whatever you want to call them, but like Panic at the Disco, Linkin Park, 3 Days Grace, Fall Out Boy, Maroon 5. Those are my main artists that I really enjoy. So
yeah. Even though I enjoy Jack Black's music, it's not my go-to.
yeah.
My go-to is more like soulful R&B type music, or just chill like Afro beats kind of music. Just yeah.
And do you have like I said, I'm a fan of his films, definitely. I think he's funny. Do you have a go-to film with Jack Black that you enjoy?
I would say School of Rock is one. Another one that I don't know if many have seen is one that he was in with Gwyneth Paltrow, and it was like he was somehow magically changed to think
No
opposite
worries, Mikey.
of the way he looked at women. And so he ended up falling in love with this woman who he thought she looked different than what was everyone else's reality. I can't remember the name of it,
Oh,
but it was
Shallow Hal. I
Shallow
forgot about
Hal.
that one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't
It
Gwyneth
even
was
think
like
about
Paltrow's
that.
in that. Yeah.
cute movie, but yeah.
I didn't even think about Shallow Hal.
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
Yeah,
even
that's a
when you
good
started
one.
describing it, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Hmm.
Yeah. I was like, what is the name of that? I could not remember it. Yeah. But
Right.
Yeah, I think School of Rock's one of my favorites, just because of the music and like kids. I have kids, so I'm down with any kind of movies that have kids or have something to do with kids.
yeah.
My kids even like that movie. They thought it was my 11-year-old thought it was hilarious because she thought I was old because of the how old the movie was, and I'm like, I'm not old. I really am not old, but she loves that movie too. So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wait, yeah. And then,
Goosebumps was a good one.
which one?
Jack Black was in Goosebumps. That was good. He played the
Oh, I didn't
same
realize
role
he was
in
in that.
multiple films based on the book. Yeah. I remember that. I remember watching those. I get into those kind of movies. Like my kids like them, but I like them more.
In Kung Fu Panda, I've always really liked the character of Po. I kind of
Mhm.
vibe with that character, and I liked all three of the movies.
Mhm.
I would say that probably out of the lines I remember from all of them, and I think I was just watching like the second one recently. But there's a lot. He's talking to Tigress, and he's talking about his dad's the goose and everything. He goes, "I just found out my dad isn't my dad," and then her response, "Your dad, the goose." That must come as a real shock. I love that.
Yes. Yeah. 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 That was a cute series,
Mhm.
Panda. It was good.
Yeah. I wish he'd do more animated films because
hmm
he's good at them. So he
Mhm.
and definitely a School of Rock. We'll see if Nike's Wi-Fi will cooperate.
Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
No.
We were just
I'm
talking.
fine.
Yeah, good to see you. We're talking about Jack Black, his 54th birthday. We know he has the music with Tenacious D. He does the movies, and then we were also discussing Potato Chips being released. Now, as far as Jack Black, are you a fan of his music or his movies yourself?
okay. Okay. So I'm catching up. So
Oh, so
I'll
having Wi-Fi
interject
issues now.
comments as we move along because I'm like completely behind on what you guys are talking about.
You're good. No, we can catch you up. We were talking about Jack Black and like he does the music with Tenacious D. And he's done, if you're a fan of his movies, you have like School of Rock, Nacho Libre, Shallow Hal, the animated, you have Kung Fu Panda. If you are a fan of his music or his movies.
Okay. Okay. Um. Well, I am a fan of it. I'm reading the comments as well to get kind of caught up on things and what's going on. I'm a action movie fan. I went to go see Mission Impossible for the doing National Theater Day, which was $4 for all movies all Sunday, and I'm going
Yeah.
tomorrow night for the early preview or early features of Equalizer 3. So I'm going to the 7:45 show instead of waiting till Friday to see it. So I'm big on action, big on comedy. My all-time favorite comedy based on because I'm a '70s child. So anything Richard Pryor did in the '70s into the '80s, I was a fan of. Then Eddie Murphy in the '80s into the '90s with Beverly Hills Cop, and then
Mhm.
2000s with the Friday franchise. So you know, those were my movies. Now I've evolved into espionage spy movies such as Mission Impossible, which is still an action
Mhm.
movie. Um, 007, of course, in the '60s and '70s. I have tons of between Daniel Craig's 007, um, Pierce Bronson, Timothy Dalton, Sean Connery, Roger Moore, the entire collection of James Bond 007 I have. Um, I can't be honest with you guys. I can't imagine going through another year without going to the movies. I'm glad the pandemic is over with, even though there's a new COVID threat out. I'm hoping it doesn't turn back into a pandemic again because I love going to the movies. I love being out in the movies. Um, I did not see the Blue Beetle. I have no intention of seeing the Blue Beetle in the theater. I'm waiting until Blue Beetle arrives on Max. I saw the Flash on Max. I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked how decent the Flash was. As far as the DC Universe movies, I'm a big Marvel fan when it comes to Marvel movies. Um, and I'm a big Star Wars movie fan. I do not really care for Star Trek after the TV series ended because it's not the original series, got not this new stuff on Paramount Plus, the original stuff. After they ended, I lost interest, complete interest in it. So that's where I'm at as far as the movie's over.
Yeah. And as far as the other one was about when potato chips debut when they were first made. So do you have a favorite potato chip, and if and then what's your favorite like go-to snack and your favorite healthy snack?
My favorite go-to snack would be Milk Duds, even though it's not sold in a lot of movie theaters right anymore. And Junior Mints would be my backup. They're not sold in a lot of movie theaters now, so I've switched over to plain M&M.
I like peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, those are good.
Those are my favorite.
Uh,
I'm like, now you just reminded me, and I'm gonna go get some.
And then
if I
going back
had,
to the
if I could have
yeah,
my input in theaters,
yeah.
y'all, ladies, if I could have my input in what theaters should have,
Mhm.
majority of moviegoers in America love cookies. So why not partner up with some bakery or something like Mrs. Fields or Famous Amos or something and
Mhm.
offer in concessions cookies?
Good idea.
Yeah. Was everything cost so much of the movies? I'd be curious how much that cookie would cost.
Probably like
For the
$8
popcorn.
for one cookie.
I was gonna say $4, but yeah, $8.
That sounds about right. So
That's more like it.
but somebody was telling me there's like a pass now that you can buy with AMC where you pay like $25 a month and you can see like unlimited movies. I don't know how all the snacks factor into it, but I'd be kind of curious. But then again, as far as unlimited movies, you'd have to be somebody who had the free time to like go and like
Right.
see them all the time. I honestly, the last one I saw in the theater was Top Gun 2. So it's been a while since I've been back to the theaters. I enjoy the theaters. It's just a matter of, getting back to the theaters.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I
And
have
then,
two small ones, so sometimes going to theater is like they love the experience of going there.
Mhm.
And they started this thing now at the end of the movie because we'll take them to the kids' movies. Now, when the movie's over, they go down to the bottom and they dance. They're like, "Come on,
Yep.
let's go dance." And I'm like, "Okay, go ahead and burn off the sugar you just had with your Slurpee and everything
Right.
yeah.
else." But I love it.
Mhm. And going back to talking about actually about Kung Fu Panda, but that is not my favorite animated one. I do have a couple like favorite animated ones. Do you have favorite animated films? Mine personally are Tangled and Beauty and the Beast. So
I'm ready to show you. Give me a
I
second. I'm ready to show you.
Super Pets. I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen that one either.
Mm-mm. Check it out. I don't know about that one.
It is a cute movie.
So between anything Batman,
Mhm.
this one actually surprised me. It's among my favorite are my animated.
I think my girls, their favorite is Rio. That's one of their favorites because they love birds. So we don't live too far from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and they have actually Parrot Mountain. And so that is one of their favorite places. So when the movie Rio came out, they thought that was the best thing ever. Um, they like another movie called Over the Moon,
Yeah,
which was really good. They like anything that has to do with music. So if it's any kind of singing, like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, any of those, they are down for the musicals.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing now is doing everything like, live action, taking all the animated ones and making them live actions. There are some like, the live action Lion King and what was the Aladdin. Those were ones that the live action
Mhm.
versions, those were good. But there's some I've seen that kind of like, Like, I think like the Jungle Book, for example. I wasn't too
Yeah, I
much
didn't
of a
like that
fan of
one.
like the original one, but not really the live action one they did.
Yeah.
But like I said, like Aladdin. Oh, and the Beauty and the
I
Beast
hate to
one
be
they
the
did too.
Debbie
They had a
Downer.
lot of them.
I hate to be the Debbie Downer whenever it comes to Disney because I was a former Disney College Program intern, and I know a lot of secrets
Uh-huh.
to the magic, if you will. I don't like Disney
Mhm.
anymore. Well,
Just
before
being
this
good
controversy
DreamWorks
came
then.
out, I'm like, because what Disney actually, as a theme park, I think the magic is there as a customer. As a former employee that was an intern, I'm not a disgruntled employee or former employee. I just don't believe in the values that they enforce on Floridian residents as well as college students. So for that reason, I don't really particularly care for Disney as a company when it comes to the entertainment values
Right, this is No
because
Blues News Wednesday
they
7 Eastern.
legitimately steal ideas. Yeah, they
Mhm.
believe it or not, guys. Disney steals ideas from their college program down in Florida. A lot of the movies that came out over the last 20 years was stolen from 17, 18, 19, even college graduates in grad school program as an intern. They stole their ideas and their concepts to produce movies. And they gave no credit or recognition to these interns. And you cannot work for that company because Florida, the Sunshine State of Florida, is one of the lowest paying, even before the federal wage income went up. You cannot work two jobs while working for Disney. If you got caught on your off day working, for example, for Walmart or Publix, and the manager saw you, the next time you reported to work, you were already written up to be terminated. That's why I say the values of the company and stealing ideas, they're terrible at that. So I would never give Disney any of my money moving forward. Outside of Disney Plus to watch Star Wars and Marvel and ESPN, that's the only way they're getting my money because they have it.
Free
We're
access
getting
to
Vampy,
off
you're
everything.
subject.
laughing. Vampy, you're laughing. I guarantee you ask any student that's done internship for Disney over the last 10 years, they will tell you everything I'm saying is true.
We're getting off subject though.
Yeah. All right. This is No Blues News Wednesday, 7 Eastern. I'm Miss Tawny. We share positive news and entertainment stories each week with our guests. Our guests tonight are Nina Exo Mama and Nike. We were talking about release of potato chips, the 54th birthday of Jack Black, and the final story will be about the release of Netflix, but kind of to get into kind of what everybody has going on, shows wise, events, auctions, all that good stuff. As far as me, I have an upcoming auction on Friday with Top Badge Summer, And then I have a Halloween one with Krabby. I am also an admin for Krabby for his show, Not Too Shabby. If you want to be a contestant on there, you can message me on Instagram. I have my show every Wednesday, 7 Eastern. And then I also assist my friend Matthew with his show as well on Fridays. So, I mean, not Fridays, today, wrong day. But if everybody else wants to get into their auctions, events, shows, everything they have going on.
So I have a mental health show. This will be my second series starting on the second Monday of September. It'll be every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We just talk about mental health. I have usually, last time it was 2 guests, but we're going up to 3 guests. And then I'm starting the second Friday of the month of September. I'm starting open mic night on Friday nights. If that means poetry, singing, rapping, anything that they could do that they would want to do in front of an audience, as long as it's not explicit, we're doing. And then I plan on starting to do a mental health check-in also on Mondays, probably around lunchtime before my show that evening.
Good. Any other shows you're gonna be
So
on
I
coming
have a
up for
stream.
auctions? Sorry.
Nike guy?
I have a stream coming up on next Thursday. It's a sports themed stream with 2 members of the Lotus Lounge family. One will be, I'm sorry, 3 members of the Lotus Lounge family. And I am still auditioning to Wednesday of next week for a moderator, a woman moderator that will control the panel discussion with sports topics. It'll be from every Thursday from 7 to 9 on my stream. That's p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it will be talking about football, basketball, baseball. Right now with the U.S. Open, we'll be talking about that. We'll be preparing for the start of the NFL season, as well as the what we all thought of the college football season, as far as week 1 concluding. So those are the things we're going to be talking about next week on the premiere of the sports talk show that I'm hosting. I'm hoping to make it become a feature content stream based on how many people come in and support it. I'm looking forward to talking about it on Thursday, every Thursday, and on during the week, Monday through Friday, I do a 2-hour discussion in the morning from 9 a.m. to 11 about mental health.
I think that's good. A lot of people do have, mental health topics. Want to give a quick shout out to Harry, to Mark, and to Nina. All right. And Nina, what shows and events, auctions, all that do you have coming up?
Yeah, it's a busy time. So tomorrow, well, let me say last week I participated on a show called Before and After, where I had to sing, and then I was assigned a coach, or a coach chose to work with me to improve on my singing the song. And now this week, tomorrow, it's with Boricua Queen on her channel, and tomorrow I'll be singing the song after having worked with the coach. So we'll see what the results of that is. And Sunday, I have my own game show that I'm hosting called Nina's LVP. It's at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. And we usually need up to 4 players. It's kind of like the weakest link way of doing it. We go round for round, and then it gets to a speed round for the head-to-head to see who will come on top as the MVP of the game. So if you're interested, come check it out on Sunday, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here, and meet me, POF, and all the other ones that are connected.
It's funny you need to mention that because I won the Lotus Lounge Family Challenge on her show. I beat my co-host for my upcoming sports talk show, and he and I have been trivia battling on another Lotus Lounge family member stream, and we're having a final battle, if you will, the week of Halloween.
That's fun.
Mark, quick note after the show, you are welcome to box and and talk. Just wanted to address your previous comment real quick. And the final thing, Netflix, 25 years ago. You guys remember back in the day when we all got sent the DVDs, and you had your list of the DVDs, and you were excited to get sent your DVDs. And I had I had my kids on it too. I let them have a list too of what we got sent. But I know they got away with all that. I wish they would have left it because I like that aspect of it too. But I know I do have the things I stream. But did you all do the DVD part? Were you on Netflix back when you were getting sent the DVDs?
I was getting the DVDs. I remember when I learned about it, I immediately wanted to subscribe because I was going through a phase of watching Audrey Hepburn movies and that time frame of those type of movies, but mostly Audrey Hepburn. So when Netflix came out with that option, I signed up for every single movie that had her name on it because I was like, if I'm a fan, I need to watch all her movies, not just Breakfast at Tiffany's. So if you're a real fan, you will have watched all of them, just like I did. Put in the work, blood, sweat, and tears. That's when binging first happened for me. Okay, that's when I first started binging before it all became streaming. It was Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah, I definitely I'm not sure how old you are, Nina. I forgot. It's in your bio, but I don't remember how old you are. Neither with Mama, Hugs and Kisses to Mama. I don't know how old you ladies are. For me, being a 70s kid, like I said before, I grew up in the VHS Betamax era. So going to Earl's videos before Blockbusters was the thing. So we would definitely binge movies, TV shows, you name it, especially during snow season and winter break. I will binge a lot of old episodes of reruns of syndicated shows. So like Nina said before, we had Netflix. Even now with Netflix, with Hulu, Amazon Prime, I watch a lot of old stuff and new stuff as well. There are two shows on Amazon Prime I highly recommend. One is called The Rig, and the other one's called The Consultant. I recommend you ladies watch. It's they're dramas, of course. I recommend you watching it because it's very entertaining.
All right, as far as the other streaming services, as far as the other streaming services, do you guys have anything you watch on the other streaming services before we get back into Netflix? Disney Plus is really the only one.
I wasn't trying to knock it out your head. I was trying to wait to tell you I'm busy.
Weird.
So I'm a big Peacock and Hulu fan because they have a lot of like the crime series. I love Peacock because they have like Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. Those are three of my favorites. And then Law and Order SVU, and then Law and Order Criminal Intent. Like they have all the new shows, but they're off-season series right now. Hulu because I like all the crime shows, any kind of crime documentary I can watch. I'm all about the crime shows. So I'm always watching any kind of crime feature that they have. So those are my go-tos.
It just makes me wish I had some too. I'm gonna go hunting for snacks while I'm making my dinner.
I live in Chicago, so I don't watch the shows.
Oh,
when they first
my mom watches Chicago PD, Chicago Fire.
Yeah, when they first started filming those shows, I worked at a nonprofit that was near downtown. And one of my coworkers was like adamant about getting on Chicago Fire because she had the hots for that one guy. He's not McSteamy, but he could be like the McSteamy of the Fire.
Oh, you're talking about, you're talking about
the gray speckled hair.
Yeah. Not Severide.
Severide, yes. So she did. She found the Facebook page for the local casting agency, and they would always post, we're looking for, this type of woman or man and all this details. So she went and she got to be an extra. She spent all day to be an extra, and then she was like, "You guys gotta watch the show." We're waiting to watch, and she's like, "It's right here," and it's her and a guy walking away, so you don't even see their face. You see their back. I'm like, how do we know it's really you?
Yeah.
I know, right, Vampy? I would have been like, oh man, like
I know, but she was like, I didn't even care. I was this close to Severine. That's all that
that's
matters.
good stuff right there.
That's all that
Do you
matters.
ladies remember the show The Wire?
Yeah, it was not my favorite.
And then I
So
never watched that one though.
okay, so The Wire was actually filmed in Baltimore County and Baltimore City. So I have two cousins that were in two episodes of the New Amsterdam episode.
Yeah.
They were in that. So
Wow.
and I have another friend that was in Extra Law and Order, SVU. And then I have a college friend. He's done some acting. He did a movie that was featured on BET, featuring the comedian Courtney Country, and he answered the front door of a woman's house, and he punched the guy in the face. It was so funny in the scene. But he's been doing other filming projects. He has a couple of movies already out. That some of them were on YouTube movies, and some of them were on Amazon movies and BET movies as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my favorite show is between SVU and I like Organized Crimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love when they brought him back in that show.
Yes.
It's so good.
And they finally bring the love story out between him and Olivia.
I know. All those years, right? Well,
Yeah.
Like, why you didn't tell me?
but like one thing COVID gave me was the want to look at other streaming services.
Yeah.
And that's when I started watching more Hulu and more Peacock aside from Netflix.
Mhm.
And Hulu, my favorite so far has been Cruel Summer. And then they had one season of it, and now it's in the next season. But I've become spoiled by these streaming services. I don't like to wait for the episode. I'm like, I know it's there. I'm going to save it. And when the whole season's done, then I'll go back and I'll watch it all.
Yeah, that's what I try
That's
to
how
do.
my brother
That
is.
way I don't forget what they just played. So I try to watch it all in one. Like they have this new series called The Ultimatum on Netflix.
Yes. I
And
just
so-
went through the whole thing. I got ticked off because I got to the recent episode, not realizing that was not the last episode. There's still
Right.
one. I was like, since when
And it
Netflix?
plays today.
Since when
It
do
plays
I have to
today.
wait?
They release it today, so that the last of this season releases today. So I'm super
Yeah, it
excited about
does.
that.
I'm glad you reminded me because I cannot wait to see it.
I do have another recommendation for you ladies. If you have Paramount Plus, every Sunday,
I do.
with
have everything.
with Zoe Zalanda, her series with Nicole Kidman called Lioness Special Ops or Special Ops Line.
Yes.
I
wanna see
love
that.
it.
I did see
I
the
can't get
preview.
enough of it. And then another one on Paramount Plus is with Kiefer Sutherland, The Rabbit Hole, which is similar to USA's version of Mr. Robot.
Oh. I didn't see that one.
I just
Rabbit Hole
watched the
is
one on
so good.
Netflix. They have a new one on Netflix too, and it was the one about the drug market.
Yeah.
With what is it called?
Thompson one.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it, but that is a good series too.
It's a good one, yeah.
Now,
And then they have
reality
one
shows.
that they don't make no more, and it's 7 seconds. Like that was one of my favorites. They don't make it anymore, but it was when all the stuff with the cops and stuff was going on. It was about a little boy that got killed behind like a building, and it was like in Baltimore somewhere, I think, or like Chicago or somewhere. But come to find out, they did kill the little boy, and then they tried to cover it up. But it all happened within like 7 seconds. I think that's why they named it. And then the other one is The Maid. The Maid was a really good one too.
So you mentioned something similar to True Crimes, which is HBO series. So before the writer's strike, HBO and before this new acquisition, HBO was in the works of filming. I believe it would have been season 4 or 5 of True Detectives, and they were bringing Woody Harrelson back.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so
That was the
that's
one
still
that-
under
that the one that
development.
Matthew McConaughey was on at some point too, or
Yeah.
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 And I was saying reality shows, well, it's more of a game show than a reality show on Netflix. I don't know if you ladies have watched the game called The Mole or The Circle.
Yeah.
Circle.
I love The Circle. So one of the two of the contestants,
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm thinking
Actually-
of later. That was on somewhere else, Prime or something. I don't know. There's so many services. Like, what did I watch it on? I don't remember.
But yeah,
The-
Matthew got me in the circles because you remember he wanted to be on it. He's auditioned multiple times. He was on 90 Day Fiance obviously, but yeah, you remember he wanted
Really?
to be on the
He
circle.
was on 90 Day Fiance?
Yeah, one of my friends that if you guys don't know Top Badge Matthew. He has Forgiveness Culture tonight. It's at
I gotta
10
write this down.
Eastern. I actually known him for years. Actually one of my real life friends lives about 4 hours away. He's an amazing person. If you haven't had the chance to get to know him, like he's like just one of those like once in a lifetime type of friends. Like love him.
You said 90 Day Fiance? I gotta look that up.
Yeah, he was on not the one that's currently airing, but the previous one, Love in Paradise, because his fiance Anna, she's in Brazil, so their story was on there, and they're still together. So yeah, he's been more Miserable before he was Matthew, but now he uses his real name. So
Okay.
but
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
with
I
the
saw
circle.
like a picture on Blake's Instagram about it.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because Blake took him to the airport, so he got to be in an episode, and like I remember the first episode they did. I get a message on my Instagram, and he's like, you gotta watch this. He's like, pay attention. He's like, there might be some shout outs. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he was recording like when he was streaming. And it was like me and Poppy Stark. He was like, talking to the streamer or all that, but like it was hilarious. Like me and Poppy Stark, we were so excited. We're like, our names were on a TV show like this. He's like, yeah. He's like, I had to shout out, you and Poppy Stark, and they showed that part. So
I love that.
yeah.
That's so cool. I like vampire shows too, like the originals, legacies.
I
Like,
was
those
thinking
are
of
two of
Buffy
my
the Vampire
favorites.
Slayer. I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
The
Yeah, and
only
they got the
vampire show
one-
I like. No, I'm sorry, Mama.
Oh,
The only
no, you're
vampire
good.
show I like is True Blood. That's the only one I like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
know
didn't
about
really
True
get too
Blood.
much into that one. It kind of reminds me of like Twilight, and I liked
Yeah.
Twilight initially, but now I'm like, I don't really watch it.
Mhm.
Now, the last thing I watched on Netflix was like, I've rewatched Lucifer. I love Lucifer. I've rewatched
Oh,
Lucifer.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah, Lucifer.
Young
Currently,
man,
I'm watching. Yeah, my daughter keeps telling me about Jenny and Georgia. I'm
It's
watching it right now. It's okay. I'm trying to like get into it and vibe with it, but it's okay. I watched Wednesday. I like Wednesday, but they're not bringing it back to like 2024.
Yes, they are.
I'm like, what the? Okay.
So they had started production before the strike. They had already,
Yeah.
so they knew they gambled on the success of the miniseries and the little miniseries movie than the show.
Mhm.
And then because it had such a huge rating and review, Netflix had already agreed with season 2. So the actors and actresses couldn't talk about season 2 being under development, and the writers had already wrote the script, and then when the strike happened, they stopped through mid production.
Well, everybody stopped.
Well, some were in
So-
post production.
Stop now, yeah.
Wait, Nike
Some
guy,
shows were-
you said the only vampire show you like is True Blood?
No.
Freeze? Oh, I was gonna say, so if we all like vampire shows, I have a question. Why do you think you like vampire shows? What about vampires like is that you love?
Well, for me, the only reason why I like True Blood, it wasn't a true vampire story. It was a love story, and then it had a little bit of comedy to it, and it had action because of the killing, but it wasn't a full dramatic story. So you had like it was like a multi-layer series, sort of like
But what do you like about vampires? Why do you like vampires?
I don't like vampire. I don't like vampire. That's what I'm saying. If I had to choose a vampire show, that's the only one that I do like. I don't like vampires. I don't like
You don't
werewolves.
like anything about vampires.
No.
Oh, okay. XOXO Mama. Why? Why do
I
you
don't know. I
like-
think it's like the anticipation of what's gonna happen next when you think about vampires. And I feel like I'm like a part vampire because I stay up during the evenings and I go to sleep in the daytime, and I just feel like that's where in my other life I might have been a vampire because of my sleeping schedule.
I feel that. I can be a late night person or an early morning person. Like I work at 7 a.m. So like I'm up, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. getting ready in the mornings. But yeah, and I can be up till midnight or 2 a.m. and just like, I just, have an energy drink, have some coffee. You can sleep later on in the day if you need to. It's all
That's
good.
me.
Like
So you don't hiss at the sun when you get up in the morning?
I do that because I don't want to get up.
There you go. There you go.
I used to be nocturnal.
Yeah.
In my late 20s, early 30s, I was very nocturnal because I had a lot of night shift job. But I don't like, unless I'm in the house, I don't like staying up or doing a lot of social activities outdoors at night. I like
Me
to
too,
be.
Vampy. I got blackout curtains too. I got one right over here. That's a blackout curtain. I do not like the sun.
Yeah. Well, for me, the thing I find fascinating about vampires, aside from feeling like I relate with them,
Yeah.
I don't even think it's that I relate with them. I like the power they have. I like the, abilities that they have to, if they mind control or when they can create more vampires, they can fly or whatever superpower kind of strength that they give them in the movies. Like that, to me, the power of what the vampire has is fascinating, and the immortality. They're immortal.
Yeah.
So, except
So
I
do
guess
you remember?
you could kill them
Do
with
you
the
remember when Fox did a documentary series on the history of Count Dracula, or Vladimir the Impaler, the first Dracula?
Mhm.
no, I just remember like Bram
You
Stoker's
remember it,
movie.
or you don't remember it?
No.
So Fox did a special, 3-part special. They went to Romania, to Transylvania, to uncover the mystery about Dracula. And they went to the tomb. They didn't open the catacomb of the tomb or anything, but they spoke to people who knew about the myth or the legend, urban legend, versus the actual artifacts to it. So Vladimir Power he was plagued with a disease. He inherited a disease that he would die before he reached the age of 50. And in order to outlive it, he would sacrifice, village virgins. He would drink the blood of village virgins. So to keep him young, to keep him, vital, if you will. That's where the whole stem cell concept came from. So they were saying then it was like he was starting to actually, instead of just drinking the blood, cutting them and drinking their blood, he was actually slaughtering them, according to urban legend. And that's how the whole vampirism came about. The vampirism was like, it's just like voodoo. It's like a religious cult. So the whole fang obsession in their, jawline and structure, they the myth is, or the urban legend to it is someone tapped into dark magic or the sorcery, and it metamorphoses their physical features as far as the nocturnal ability to no longer sleep among the, be a day walker, if you will, to sleep among the normal people. They slept in coffins and um was able to handle the cold air being confined. That was all a myth. That was all a myth. So that's the only other thing about vampires I watched was the documentary about it. You can probably catch it on YouTube. If YouTube is probably there. It was a Fox
And
series,
Vampy
3-part
mentioned
series. Yeah.
when Vampy mentioned about them shooting the originals in Louisiana. The only place I've ever been to Louisiana is Lake Charles, but I want to explore Louisiana more. I like Louisiana, but also The Walking Dead. They shoot parts of it in Georgia, but I live outside of Austin, and they film a lot of things in Austin now too, and they've done parts of The Walking Dead in Austin as well, and Matthew McConaughey is supposed to be like a big like person you're supposed to see all around Austin. For me, I think other people will be much more excited to see him than I would. Like I have a friend who's a professor at the at University of Texas who and he's a professor there. So he's gonna be like, do you want to meet him? I'm like, I don't really care. Like so I mean thank you for the offer. Like somebody else might really,
Right.
like but and then as far as Netflix, what is your favorite movie or show you've ever watched on Netflix?
Cobra
I
Kai.
would say either Virgin River or the originals. Going back to the vampires.
Yeah, Cobra Kai is for me because I love the Karate Kid franchise growing up in the 80s. So the fact that they did, a spinoff as the original characters much older and the slower, if you will, fighting, and then they're training the next generation, and then you still have Johnny being Johnny, Daniel battling his own demons, if you will, and then being a father and a husband, and then you have Kreese and Terry Silver in the picture again. It's I love it, and I'm sad that you know January will be the final season of Cobra Kai on Netflix. I'm sad to see it go, but there's talk that there may be a movie. The screenwriter, producers of the series said um, it's not confirmed, nor the denial of the rumor, but it's nothing. There's nothing confirmed. That's all they were saying about that.
This has been No Blues News Wednesday, 7 Eastern. I am Miss Tawny. We discuss positive news, entertainment stories. And as far as my favorite movie, I know there's been a lot of good ones. I think the last one I watched was like one with Jennifer Lopez. That was okay.
Mother.
Mhm. Bridgerton was
Oh
probably
yeah,
my
that was a
favorite
good one.
series that I've watched. And obviously Lucifer as well. But they have a lot of the movies that they make, probably like The Kissing Booth. I know that was like three separate movies. I really like that one. I remember
Oh
my daughter
yeah, are
told me
you
about
talking
that
about the
one.
one with the little Chinese girl? Is that the one with the little Chinese girl?
Never Have I Ever. No, that's the
Oh
other.
yeah,
No,
that one. That's the one I'm thinking
no,
of.
Yes,
that's
Vampy. Sorry.
To the
it's
all the boys that to the girls that kissed or something about to all the boys.
To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Yeah, I just watched that one.
Yeah.
I liked that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. They're supposed to be coming up with a fourth one. I'm really excited because I've read all the books.
Mhm.
So I'm not a book reader, but when I find there's a movie I like, I go back and read the books. Like 50 Shades of Grey, like
I was about to ask you
like
about that.
all my
I was
favorite
literally about to
books.
ask you about that.
Look, because
So
I'm a
you already
single
answered
mom.
it for
So
me.
like I'm a single mom. So like I don't get no excitement over here.
Well, you can.
So like
Have you seen that 365
Oh,
show
wow.
on Netflix?
uh-uh.
Oh, fill her in,
You
Miss
said it's called
Tawny.
what?
Oh, wow, girl, you need to watch that. Oh,
We're
wow.
gonna take this offline. Okay.
Yeah. They're both, okay, the guy and the girl in it, they're both
Leave-
ridiculously
Ladies,
hot.
leave me out the comment.
Yes.
When we go over to Instagram chat, leave me out of the comments discussion.
No worries.
What's the name of the show though?
It's
Vampy put it
365.
down.
There's 3 different movies. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
You search
have
it on Netflix, but yeah.
Find one, you'll find them all. Don't worry. You'll find the rest of them, and then you'll be clicking on every little thing.
Yeah. It's a good
But
story, and all the
anyway.
preference of it was this ridiculously hot mafia guy kidnaps this girl, and she has 365 days to fall in love with him. And then it's like, I remember watching this, and this we all remember, ladies, we all remember this. Are you lost? I can't do the voice. Are you lost, baby girl? Like,
I know,
"Oh,
baby
if you say
girl.
that to me, I'd be like,
Are you lost,
I-
girl?
yeah,
What?
I would not say I was kidnapped. I'd be good.
Yes,
Oh,
and you have
What?
found me, sir.
so let me ask you, ladies, this question: between Netflix and movie, what's the 2 movies that literally made you jump out of your seat? Not necessarily a horror or gothic, horror sci-fi movie, but
50
more like a
Shades of Grey.
suspense thriller.
It made me jump up out my seat. Like it
What
was
was
like
it?
50 Shades of Grey. It made
Oh,
me
really?
jump up out my seat like, yes, get that.
So on Netflix,
We're talking
What,
about
Misty?
crayons, y'all. Crayons. 50 Shades of Crayons, okay? Talking about
Misty got me.
crayons. Let's keep
Misty
moving.
made me jump out of my seat on Netflix, and in the movies, Prisoners with Hugh Jackman.
That was a good
Oh,
one.
that was a
Yeah.
good one.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that was a rough one for real. Yeah.
Oh,
One that made
there's-
me jump out of my seat was Megan.
No
Oh, the
lie
Meg,
there.
that's
That's why I
like
don't
Jaws.
watch horror movies by myself.
I don't, but I was with my husband, but still, it doesn't
Ooh,
matter.
Orphan.
I tried
good one
not.
too.
I won't even go near that one. I have my limits. Like,
Insidious is one that freaks me out.
oh, I don't touch that either.
Mhm.
Blood of Jesus on my phone. Don't even talk about it.
That's what the demonic ones are like the ones that are more realistic of a possibility of it happening. Like,
Yeah.
do I want to be possessed? No, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, I don't
those
like
are the
those.
ones that scare you because they're more realistic.
Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
like those. But like Megan, it was about an AI doll that just went haywire. So it wasn't as creepy as they made it out to be. It was like more creepy the fact that it was the size and look of a little girl who was just
Mhm.
doing some discombobulated stuff that was creepy. Vampy's over here doing the promo and the new boogeyman.
Well, as far as any that made me not really. I've never really like. I think you'll stand up and clap at the end of the movie. I've never been that one. Now, if I'm at home, I can watch movies and like yell at the TV. I'm not gonna do that at the theater.
No.
You know, some people will be like, "Hey, you get that person in the theater every now and then." They'll be like, "Oh no, they didn't." You know, don't you go in there? You're just like, "Shut up." You know.
Yeah,
Like,
they do. That's why I don't like going to the movies. I'd rather do it at home.
yeah, that way you can shout at the TV at home and it's just you, so it doesn't matter.
Did you guys ever bring your kids to the theater?
No.
Because my
Mine are
kids are
adult
like
kids
those
now, yeah.
adults, especially my son. He'll be sitting there in the movie and he's yelling out stuff to the people. Like we're watching Mario Brothers and he's yelling about them being mean to Luigi. Don't be mean to Luigi. And I'm like, oh my
My oldest will be like,
I don't
saw
have any
that
children.
coming.
I don't have any children, so I would, but
God.
when I go to the movies, guys, honestly, I go to the movie theaters where one, I can reserve my seat, and most of the time they're reclining seats.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, I
So
get that. Like I only will go to AMC or Cinemark. Like the town I'm in is a
Mhm.
smaller town. We have a theater here. I won't touch it. I'll drive an hour to Austin
Yeah.
to go to the theaters there because they're better. So
Yeah, it's worth it for
Mhm.
that. Because we're gonna be sitting in those seats for an hour, maybe 2 hours. Mm.
oh
Right.
shoot, we have a theater here because I live in Washington D.C. area. We have a movie theater called I Pick Theater, and
Yeah.
like I say, it's reclining seat.
Mhm.
But they bring you a neck pillow and they bring you a little fleece blanket
Ooh.
to watch the movie.
I'll be asleep.
There's also
I'd be
I
knocked
can't
out.
remember the name of the theater, guys, but it's like a sofa bed. It's like a pull out sofa bed, and then you can get under the sheet and they give you
Oh, never
pillows
heard about that one.
and yeah, and you watch the movie. It's like I was like,
I'm
if
about to
you
know
put
how
if
clean
you
those sofa beds are. How
Yeah,
clean are they?
true.
Like,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
been doing the nasty in the middle of the movies? Like,
Yeah,
no,
They're
they're
not
because
not.
ushers.
well, here's the thing. From what I've read about, I can't remember the name of the theater,
Mhm.
but when it opened up before it opened up, they gave you a walkthrough. The local news did a
Oh, it's
walkthrough of
the
the
Get
theater.
Down Theater.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they gave you a
yep.
walkthrough of the theater, and they have closed circuit cameras,
Adult
so they
Get
see
theater.
Down.
everything in black and white in real time.
Uh,
So even
There
if
you
you
go.
try to do that, even if you try to do that, they're gonna have the ushers don't come through there. They're gonna have police waiting
oh,
for you when you're leaving.
I don't say they got to be having the SEX, but they could be doing some stuff up under there. There ain't always motion with things that happen.
I've had people tell me that they managed to hook up in the theater. I'm like, how? Did you go to like the random
The
one that's not
bathroom.
supervised? Anyone
They
I've
went to the
ever gone to, it's
bathroom.
supervised. There's people like supervising you, so you can't try it. You couldn't do any of that if you wanted to, because they kick you
They go
out if
to
you
the
did that. So,
bathroom. They go to the bathroom.
have you been in a movie theater bathroom? Most of them
Mm.
are kind of sketchy.
In a recent game show, I learned there's a term for not game. Actually, it was on mine. I was going, not my game show. It was in my stream. I was flipping cards,
Uh,
and there's a name for that when people do it in the bathroom, and it's called like dunking your tea or something.
oh no.
I don't know why.
I know. I
Food
learned.
toilet tea.
I burst somebody at nighttime
Nina, you have
sometimes. She's one of my close
you have
friends.
a very vivid sexual mind. Okay,
And
You have a
That's fun though.
What?
she reads things out of the Urban Dictionary. Every time I go into the verse, she's got some new term that she wants to teach me on the verse. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Lord.
Nina, I wouldn't be surprised if you know what a dirty trombone means.
What the
It just
world?
sounds
Oh
nasty,
Lord.
so it's probably not good. I don't know.
Certain things I can't understand, like the whole like the public bathroom thing. That's a no go. We know most
Yeah.
Yeah.
public bathrooms are like disgusting. And then okay, every time I go in an airplane and every time I walk into the bathroom, I contemplate this and look around and think, why would anybody try to do anything here? The
How?
flight attendants are right there. They're gonna know what you're doing. And unless it's Spirit, maybe they'll let you do it on Spirit. Who knows?
How?
But like, but yeah,
Well,
the
I'm
bathroom
gonna say
is way too small. That would not be fun at all.
I'm gonna say
Or
this.
trying to
If
do
you go
something and get your foot
No.
stuck in the toilet. You end up getting your foot stuck in the toilet or stuck in the sink or somebody falls in the toilet or I mean, all things can happen on an airplane.
I'm gonna say this. It's really a question. If you had to choose in a public restroom setting, would you rather be at a hotel or in a hospital?
Wait,
Hospital.
are we moving into after hours now?
Yeah. I think we're clear. Yeah, it's 7:05. It's 8:05 Eastern. We're clear. Okay.
I was just saying, if you had to choose between a hotel or a hospital, which one would you choose as far as the
Hotels and the
setting?
hospitals have cleaner rooms. They have people who have jobs to clean them. And
They can
actually,
sanitize.
you got to think of hospital standards. They have standards to kill the germs, to keep a cleanliness process to a certain level. So they're really
Nina
better off in the
choking.
hospital. But the idea that people are
Choking.
sick and dying, that's not really appealing.
Okay.
Vampy, imagine what spirits are watching you in those hotel rooms.
No.
There's a show about haunted hospitals. You should
Dude,
watch that.
I'm not talking about in the room of a hotel.
Wait,
Bathroom of a
since
hotel.
I live in Chicago, one anniversary. It was like the Hilton Drake downtown was having this 100-year anniversary because it's been around for so long. So they were offering room tickets for like $100 stay. So me and my husband took the weekend and we stayed there. I was getting creeped out because apparently that there's been stories about haunted floors because it's
I
so
would love
old.
that.
And I was like, oh my God, and I swear one night I was going to bed and I was like freaking out. I was like, waking my husband up. I'm like, do you hear that music? Because it didn't sound. I opened the door. I didn't see anything.
I had to.
Like, go back to sleep.
Well, that's like that movie. What is it? Hotel 1365 or Floor 1365 or something like that. It was like the movie with Keanu Reeves where it happened in a hotel room and it was like a certain room on that in that hotel was a haunted movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember that
And
one.
it's somewhat it's like an actual based off a true story, and it's somewhere like Chicago or like New York
Yeah.
or something. But the room number was 1365 or something, and apparently somebody got killed in that room, or
Yeah.
any of the guests that entered that room never came back out.
Oh wow.
It was something about a serial killer during the World's Fair.
Mhm.
And they would set up in that room. They would like, I guess, live in that room. Some people say it was like one of the world's first serial killers.
See, I'm fascinated. I like all the paranormal stuff. The one thing I forgot about on Netflix, okay, it was a good series, but it was very disturbing and hard to watch, was the Dahmer series.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah.
I didn't
Agreed.
get past the first episode. I was like, you know what? I can't do this.
Well, you know, and the thing was, it's like the lady told, like the lady from the apartment beside him
Yeah.
told multiple times, and they didn't want to listen to her until all of this transpired. Like all of this probably could have been prevented if y'all would have listened to what she said.
Yeah.
I don't mean to escape from you guys, but I'm going to escape. I have Role Model Fresh's Court series that I'm on as a juror, so I have to get
Thank
ready
you.
for
Awesome.
that.
Thank you for being a guest. Yeah, I'm gonna transition to my regular streaming. But thank you everybody for being a guest
Transition
tonight.
as well.
Much
Thank
love,
you for
guys.
having me.
Hope to catch you live.
Bye. Oh wait. By the way,
Guys,
Vampy,
I know, right?
Tony, I'll be right back. If you're still gonna be on, I'll be right back. Okay.
Vampy, the song I'm singing for my show tomorrow is actually Creep. So you know, because you mentioned Creep earlier. Don't judge me too much.
Right.
Okay, have a good night. Bye.
Thank you. Chris Casper hates what? Oh, okay. See, my ex was really into that song, and my ex would always sing it because he was in a band, so he would always sing it. Yeah. He was like a rocker guy, so it worked for him.